New digital scan of the Titanic has offered an unprecedented insight into the ship's final moments. A detailed three-dimensional reconstruction of the wreck reveals engineers worked to keep the lights on even as the vessel sank. Here's Rebecca Morrell.
Everything we thought we knew about the Titanic's final moments was wrong. Advanced AI has just finished analyzing the most detailed scan of the Titanic wreck ever created. 715,000 images processed into a perfect digital twin. What it discovered will blow your mind.
A digital scan created from more than 700,000 underwater images now shows us the complete wreck. The immense bow lying upright on the seafloor.
The heroic engineers who stayed at their posts? I found physical proof frozen in time? The massive iceberg gash we've imagined for 112 years? Completely false. Instead, tiny punctures the size of paper sheets doom the unsinkable ship. But the AI uncovered evidence of individual acts of heroism, panic, and final moments that no human researcher could have found. We're about to rewrite history.
In the depths of the Atlantic lies the wreck of the Titanic. But more than a century after the ship sank, new technology is shedding light on what happened on that fateful night.
The game-changing scan. Forget everything you think you know about exploring the Titanic wreck. We're not talking about grainy footage from submarines or blurry photographs anymore. What we're dealing with here is revolutionary technology that has created something scientists are calling a digital twin of the entire Titanic wreck. Deep-sea mapping company Magellan has created the most precise model of the Titanic ever created. A full-scale, one-to-one digital twin, accurate down to the rivet, using 715,000 digitally captured images. Think about that for a second. 750,000 images, all processed and analyzed to create a perfect digital replica of the world's most famous shipwreck. This is groundbreaking. The project represents the largest underwater 3D scan ever made, amounting to 16 terabytes of data, equivalent to the hard drive footprint of 6 million e-books. We're talking about enough data to recreate every rivet, every piece of debris, every haunting detail of the ship that lies 12,500 feet beneath the Atlantic Ocean. But here's where it gets really interesting. This massive digital reconstruction isn't just sitting in some computer collecting digital dust. Advanced AI systems have been analyzing every pixel, every measurement, every detail captured in this unprecedented scan. And what they're finding is challenging everything we thought we knew about that tragic night in April 1912. The technology behind this achievement is mind-boggling. 2 remotely operated vehicles spent months photographing every inch of the wreck site, capturing images with precision that would have been impossible just a few years ago. But the real magic happens when AI algorithms process all this information, finding patterns and details that human researchers might spend decades trying to uncover. What the AI discovered. The AI analysis of this digital twin has revealed something absolutely incredible about the ship's final hours. Evidence of heroic actions that were previously just stories passed down through survivor accounts. The team discovered a steam valve in the open position, which confirms eyewitness accounts that the ship's engineers heroically remained at their posts in the boiler room for hours after impact, keeping the ship's electricity running, which enabled wireless distress signals to be sent out. Let me paint you a picture of what this means. While chaos erupted on the decks above, while passengers scrambled for lifeboats, these brave engineers stayed below in the flooding ship. They kept the power on, kept the lights burning, kept the wireless radio working so distress calls could continue going out. And now, over a century later, AI analysis has found physical proof of their sacrifice, frozen in time on the ocean floor. It's a human story of incredible courage. These men knew the ship was doomed, knew they were likely going to die, but they stayed at their posts anyway. the AI also found evidence of humanity's capacity for selfless heroism in the face of certain death. But that's just the beginning. The artificial intelligence systems analyzing this data have also uncovered details about the ship's final moments that challenge long-held theories about how the Titanic actually sank. The new simulation demonstrates that minor punctures along 6 hull sections, each roughly the size of an A4 sheet of paper, allowed water to flood the ship gradually but fatally. This completely changes our understanding of the disaster. Challenging. The ice-cold truth. For over a century, people have imagined the iceberg slicing through the Titanic's hull like a knife through butter. Hollywood movies showed us dramatic scenes of massive tears in the ship's side. But the AI analysis tells a very different story. A shattered porthole, likely smashed by the iceberg, is one of several haunting new details uncovered in a fresh look at Titanic's 3D scans. Artificial intelligence has been able to identify specific damage patterns that human eyes might have missed or misinterpreted in previous explorations. What's fascinating is how the AI processes information differently than human researchers. Where we might see twisted metal and assume massive impact damage, the AI can calculate precise measurements, analyze stress patterns, and determine exactly how forces were applied to different parts of the ship. The technology is revealing that the Titanic's encounter with the iceberg was more complex than anyone previously understood. Instead of one catastrophic impact, the AI analysis suggests a series of smaller breaches that combined created a fatal flow of water into the ship's compartments. This discovery has massive implications for how we understand the Titanic disaster, and also the ship design and safety in general. If relatively small punctures could doom even the unsinkable ship, what does that mean for modern vessel construction? The AI can simulate different scenarios, testing theories about how the disaster unfolded. It's like having a time machine that can replay those final hours with scientific precision, revealing details that eyewitness accounts and previous investigations simply couldn't capture. The digital resurrection phenomenon. What makes this AI analysis so revolutionary is the sheer scale and precision of the data being processed. A documentary called Titanic: The Digital Resurrection will unveil the most detailed digital reconstruction of the shipwreck ever created, and the implications go far beyond just the Titanic story. Over painstaking months, Magellan turned 16 terabytes of data into a life-size digital model, accurate to about a centimeter that viewers can fly through, walk on, and rotate. Imagine being able to explore the Titanic wreck as if you were actually there, walking through the debris field, examining details that no human has ever been able to see up close. This technology represents a complete revolution in how we study historical disasters and archaeological sites. The AI can process visual information at a speed and accuracy that would take human researchers decades to achieve. It can spot patterns, identify materials, and even predict how different parts of the wreck have deteriorated over time. But here's what's really incredible. This digital twin isn't static. The AI can run simulations, testing different theories about the disaster, modeling how the ship broke apart, and even predicting how the wreck will change in the future. It's like having a crystal ball that works backwards and forwards through time. The technology is so advanced that researchers can now examine parts of the ship that are too dangerous or impossible for human divers to reach. They can study the engine rooms, explore collapsed sections, and analyze debris patterns with unprecedented detail. Secrets in the debris field. One of the most fascinating aspects of the AI analysis is what it's revealing about the Titanic's massive debris field. Scientists have managed to map the Titanic in its entirety, from its bow and stern sections, which broke apart after sinking, to its 3-by-5-mile debris field. Think about that scale for a moment. We're talking about a debris field that covers 15 square miles of ocean floor. That's bigger than Manhattan. And now, for the first time ever, AI systems have analyzed every piece of debris, every scattered artifact, creating a complete picture of how the ship came apart during its final plunge to the ocean floor. The artificial intelligence has identified patterns in the debris field that tell a story of the ship's final moments, where different types of objects landed, how they're scattered, what condition they're in. All of this provides clues about the forces involved in the ship's breakup and the physics of its descent through nearly 2.5 miles of water. What's particularly intriguing is how the AI has been able to identify personal belongings and ship components that previous expeditions missed or couldn't properly catalog. The system can differentiate between different types of materials, identify specific objects, and even track how they've degraded over the past century underwater. At the top of the list of hopeful discoveries was a 2-foot-tall bronze statuette of the Roman goddess Diana. Known as Diana of Versailles, she served as the centerpiece of the first-class lounge and embodied Titanic's palatial design. While this particular artifact hasn't been definitively located, the AI analysis is helping researchers understand exactly where such items might be found, based on the ship's breakup patterns. The human stories revealed by machines. What's most remarkable about this AI analysis is how artificial intelligence is helping us understand the very human drama that unfolded during the Titanic's final hours. The digital twin has revealed evidence of individual acts of heroism, moments of panic, and decisions made in the face of unimaginable terror. The AI can identify where emergency equipment was deployed, where people gathered during the evacuation, and even where some passengers made their final stands. For example, the analysis has confirmed details about the ship's orchestra, who famously continued playing music as the ship sank. The AI has identified the location where the band's instruments were likely positioned during those final moments, providing physical evidence for one of the most touching stories from the disaster. The technology has also revealed evidence about the class-based evacuation procedures that have long been controversial. By analyzing the distribution of personal effects and the patterns of damage to different parts of the ship, the AI is helping researchers understand exactly how the Women and Children First policy was implemented and where it broke down. But perhaps most powerfully, the AI analysis is giving us a minute-by-minute understanding of how the disaster unfolded. By studying the damage patterns, debris distribution, and physical evidence, artificial intelligence systems can create a timeline of events that's more precise than any previous reconstruction. The technology behind the magic. Talking about the incredible technology that's making these discoveries possible, the Titanic's digital twin represents one of the largest underwater 3D scans ever accomplished. It consists of 16 terabytes of data, equivalent to approximately 6 million ebooks. The process of creating this digital twin involved deploying advanced remotely operated vehicles equipped with high-resolution cameras and laser scanning equipment. These robots spent months methodically photographing and measuring every inch of the wreck site, operating in conditions that would be impossible for human divers. But the real breakthrough comes in how AI systems process all this information. Artificial intelligence analyzes the images, finding patterns, identifying materials, and even making predictions about how different parts of the wreck have changed over time. The AI can perform tasks that would take human researchers decades to complete. It can measure thousands of objects simultaneously, compare current conditions to historical photographs, and even simulate different scenarios to test theories about how the disaster unfolded. What's particularly impressive is how the AI handles the complexity of the underwater environment. The wreck site is dark, covered in marine growth, and partially buried in sediment. Human researchers might struggle to identify specific features under these conditions, but the AI can process multiple types of data simultaneously to build a complete picture. The technology is so advanced that it can even account for how the underwater currents, marine life, and chemical processes have affected different parts of the wreck over the past century. This allows researchers to essentially see through time, understanding not just what the wreck looks like now, but how it has changed since the ship first hit the ocean floor. The human element in artificial intelligence. Despite all the impressive technology involved in this project, it's important to remember that the most compelling discoveries are fundamentally about human stories. The AI is revealing the final moments of over 1,500 people who lost their lives in one of history's most famous disasters. The steam valve that confirmed the engineer's heroic sacrifice, the damage patterns that revealed the true nature of the iceberg collision, the debris field that tells the story of the ship's final plunge. All of these technical discoveries ultimately connect us more deeply to the human drama that unfolded on that April night in 1912. What's remarkable is how artificial intelligence, despite being fundamentally non-human, is helping us understand human behavior in ways we never could before. The AI analysis reveals patterns of courage, panic, heroism, and tragedy that were previously hidden in the physical evidence. Technology is also helping us understand the social dynamics of the disaster. By analyzing the distribution of personal effects and the patterns of damage to different parts of the ship, AI is providing insights into how social class affected survival rates and evacuation procedures. But perhaps most importantly, the AI analysis is ensuring that the stories of those who died on the Titanic are told with unprecedented accuracy. Instead of relying solely on the accounts of survivors, we now have physical evidence that can confirm, correct, or add nuance to the historical record. Artificial intelligence is enhancing human interpretation of history, providing tools that allow researchers to extract more information from existing evidence than ever before possible. Beyond the Titanic, the success of the Titanic AI analysis represents more than just new insights into a single historical disaster. It marks the beginning of a new era in how we study the past, explore dangerous environments, and extract information from complex datasets. The technology developed for this project is already being adapted for other underwater archaeological sites around the world. Similar AI analysis techniques are being applied to ancient shipwrecks, submerged cities, and other underwater cultural heritage sites that were previously too difficult or dangerous to study comprehensively. But the implications extend far beyond maritime archaeology. The same AI systems that can analyze 16 terabytes of underwater imagery could be applied to satellite data, helping identify previously unknown archaeological sites on land. They could analyze historical documents, finding patterns and connections that human researchers might miss. The technology is also being adapted for space exploration, where AI systems could analyze data from Mars rovers or process imagery from distant planets with the same precision and insight demonstrated in the Titanic project. The Titanic project has demonstrated that AI can be a powerful ally in preserving and understanding cultural heritage, providing new tools for telling the stories of the past with unprecedented accuracy and detail. As we look toward the future, it's clear that artificial intelligence will play an increasingly important role in how we study the past, explore dangerous environments, and extract insights from complex information. The Titanic project has established a new standard for what's possible when advanced technology is applied to historical investigation. But no matter how sophisticated our AI systems become, the most important discoveries will always be about human stories, about courage and cowardice, heroism and tragedy, love and loss. Technology just helps us tell those stories more accurately and completely than ever before. So there you have it. The incredible story of how latest AI technology has revolutionized our understanding of the Titanic disaster. From confirming heroic final stands to revealing the true nature of the iceberg, damage. Artificial intelligence has uncovered secrets that were hidden for over a century beneath the Atlantic Ocean. The groundbreaking high-resolution 3D scan of the Titanic has provided the most detailed and immersive view of the shipwreck ever seen, unlocking new secrets about its final moments, while honoring the memory of those who perished in one of history's most famous disasters. What do you think about AI uncovering these historical secrets? Should we use technology to rewrite history? Or are some mysteries better left unsolved?